Coming up, the story unfolds as both athletic directors from Iowa and Iowa State comment about the alleged attacks during the Cyhawk game. And later, we'll tell you what's new about the Stanley Museum of Art and the events it offers students.
Trevor, guess what day it is?
Hump day, and that means we'll hear from Hawkeye football about pedicures.
Stay tuned.
What do the fall temperatures have in store for Iowa this year? It's only our third day out here, but I have a feeling it's going to treat us pretty well. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV. Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm John Rawson. After the members of the Iowa Marching Band alleged that they were assaulted at the Cyhawk game in Ames 10 days ago, the athletic directors from both universities are speaking out. At a press conference yesterday, Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard listed the claims he said that Iowa Athletic Director Gary Barta sent him about the scandal on Tuesday.
A teaching assistant for the marching band had beer thrown on them. Number two, something was thrown at the football team's bus, not the band's bus, but the football team's bus, during or shortly after the game, fortunately when the players and coaches were not present, that cracked the windshield of the bus. Three, the Hawkeye band director and the ISU director of facilities had a verbal altercation on the field as the Iowa band was beginning to exit the field stadium. Four, following the game, a member of the Iowa marching band tried to enter the Bergstrom football complex through the Iowa State football team's locker room entrance and was denied entrance to the facility, resulting in a confrontation between the band member and security personnel. And number five, a member of the marching band who was carrying a ladder suffered broken ribs as the result of a band member being shoved and falling on the ladder while the band member was exiting the field with the band.
Barta said that he reached out to Pollard and Iowa State as soon as he got word of the allegations on Monday. But now the focus is on moving forward and helping the band members impacted during this investigation.
I have information from students who were mistreated, and physically one of them actually had to seek medical attention. So I believe them. The challenge is it's a stadium full of people, and at this point we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Again, there have been other groups involved. This hasn't been, the athletic department doesn't do investigations, and so it's been people outside of athletics trying to follow up. What athletics has been doing is trying to support the students who have gone through this, provide them the resources so that they can get to the bottom of it. I believe our students that events did happen. I absolutely believe them. They've gone through a difficult time, and from day one we've just said we are here to support you. We'll provide you any support we can. Yesterday, President Harold, in his interview, said if anybody has information, if anybody has video, if anybody has photographs, bring them forward so that they can be utilized. But until something concrete can be proven, we're just going to continue to support the young people who were mistreated.
Barta and UI President Bruce Harold met with the band yesterday to apologize and answer their questions. We at the Daily Iowan will continue to bring you updates as the story continues to develop. But speaking of bands, hopefully this weather doesn't play me like an instrument. We'll toss it over to Melissa with more.
Thanks, John. I've got good news. The temperatures for the rest of the year are going to be above average in most parts of the United States. In areas of the Southwest, we're going to experience temperatures that are way above average, and areas in Iowa and the rest of the Midwest into the Southeast are going to experience temperatures that are going to be likely above average. Now, that does not mean that the temperatures are not going to get colder. They'll just feel like they aren't as cold as they normally are. Now, let's take a look at the weather in Iowa City. Today's high is going to be 76 degrees with partly cloudy skies and mild winds around 13 miles per hour. As we head into tonight, temperatures will drop to a chilly 51 degrees and we'll have a 10% chance of rain and cloudy skies. Now, let's take a look at the extended forecast. Tomorrow's high will be 73 with partly cloudy skies and an 80% chance of rain in the evening. On Friday, we'll have a high of 73 and an 80% chance of thunderstorms. Then this weekend on Saturday, we'll have a high in the upper 60s with partly cloudy skies, but a 50% chance of rain in the evening. Then on Sunday, we'll have a high in the upper 70s with a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms. And then on Monday, temperatures warm up a little bit to the low 80s with a 50% chance of thunderstorms. Let's just hope that this rain holds out for the Iowa football game on Saturday. John, back to you at the desk.
Students searching for activities to fill their weekend will have new events to look forward to at the Stanley Museum of Art. The museum recently launched a program Saturday at Stanley, offering students and the Iowa City community a way to learn about the museum's collections. The museum hopes one of the Saturday exhibits will coincide with the University of Iowa's Theater Department's presentation Sunday in the Park with George, a musical inspired by George Suhart's painting. The museum wishes to connect with other events and organizations on campus and in Iowa City to incorporate themed events to appeal to a larger community. If you want to know more, head over to the Stanley Museum website for information on upcoming events. Yesterday, the University of Iowa Student Government and Graduate and Professional Student Government held a joint session to discuss 3 resolutions. The governments discussed their diversity, equity, and inclusion plan for the 2019-2020 year, a resolution to support ending climate change, and a declaration in support of all the work UISG and GPSG have done in the last 100 years since their creation. To read more from last night's meeting, you can go to dailyiowan.com. But we all know what we really want more of, and that's sports. We'll toss it over to TNT in the sports studio with more.
Now, with the marching band scandal, there's been a pretty dark cloud over the Iowa football program.
But Iowa's coming off a bye week and getting ready to face Middle Tennessee State in their last non-conference game of the season.
So to lighten the mood a little bit, we decided to ask players what they did during their bye week.
Nah, I mean, the only thing I really did, I wanted a pedicure, but besides that, I didn't do anything else.
I'm an older guy, so I need all the rest I can get. You know, my body's getting old. I just need to chill during bye weeks.
Just hung out, watched some football with some friends.
I was able to rest up a little bit, enjoy the weekend. I got a chance to go visit my sister.
Was just at home for most of the time. We still had football stuff Monday through Friday, so I mean, not much. I didn't do much this past weekend. Just kind of got on my feet and got some rest because it was well needed.
I went home on a bye week, so got to see my family a little bit, but it's more focused on game at hand and just working on like my mental part. You know, just working on the mental part of the game, hand gestures, like helping me just get to the quarterback faster. Just the typical D-line stuff.
Nice to hear that Geno Stone got a pedicure. I think he wins the award for best bye week.
I think we can both agree we deserve a bye week. So to our boss, Lucy, just keep that in mind.
The Iowa women's golf team finished stroke play of the East-West Match Play Challenge on Monday in Wisconsin.
The Hawkeyes placed 6th overall with freshman Leah Zeidler leading the way.
Zeidler placed in the top 5 of the players' leaderboard and sunk in 6 birdies at the tournament.
Iowa will head to Mississippi to participate in the Magnolia Invitational on October 13th.
But Leah wasn't the only underclassman to make headlines in Hawkeye sports this week.
That's right, Tanner. Iowa freshman Erica Doddridge won the Draw D Championship at the Gopher Invitational on Sunday.
Doddridge won in straight sets 7-6 and 6-3 in her first collegiate tournament of her career.
Erica and the tennis Hawkeyes will head to Tulsa, Oklahoma as they begin regionals on October 5th.
That wraps up things for us in the sports studio today.
Tune in tomorrow where we take an in-depth look at Iowa fall sports.
Jonathan, take it away.
One tattoo parlor is giving ink and giving back. Second Skin Tattoo in Camden County, Georgia wanted to help pay off lunch debts for students in the local system. The shop held a fundraiser where 50% of their profits would go to repaying the lunch debt. Over 200 people showed up and raised $8,000, which was not only enough to repay the lunch debt, but also replenish the emergency funds that kept the kids fed. But that's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of news on stands now. For DITV, I'm John Rawson. Carpe that diem, Iowa City.